Hello, everybody.
Hello.
There's my lovely wife, Lisa. And one thing we started doing here, even though we live in a wonderful apartment,
Oh
is
yeah.
making our own bread. Um, this is our first shot at just, what is it, honey wheat?
That's just plain just wheat. I do use honey in most of my breads except for like the garlic and chive. But this is just the wheat bread, with a standard amount of honey to make it kind of sweeter.
Okay. This is our first shot at sandwich style loaf. It didn't quite turn out like I thought it would, but it still looks like some pretty tasty bread.
Oh yes. I can't wait.
We have been doing some other breads as well, which our deep freeze here is full of several orders we've been actually selling to our neighbors. If you guys are interested in any of the breads we make, please just let us know in the comments. We do ship to just about everywhere.
Inside the continental U.S.
Yeah, inside the continental U.S. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. We are going to try maybe a different recipe.
I think next time I'll just have to double up the recipe. Usually, the recipe that I use for these, that I used on these, it'll usually make about 2 artisanal size loaves. But I didn't cut it in half. I just did that, and so I guess next time I'll just have to double up and go that route.
To give you an idea of what she means by artesian, I've actually got some here in our freezer. And she slams the door into me.
I mean, I could if you like.
This is our normal artesian, which isn't too much different.
No, but it's definitely shorter and
It's
definitely
not as tall. And we made the sandwich bread with those pans there. Worked pretty well, just didn't quite fill up the pan, so she'll try a different recipe and we'll see how it turns out. Another thing I want to say is I know a lot of people say that living in an apartment you can't really do anything to be self-sufficient. This right here proves completely different. We have been for about the past month now making bread.
Yeah.
Several of our neighbors, people I work with, and people we don't even know now are purchasing bread from us. This is something that she started as an experiment just because she wanted to make bread and learn how to do it. For us. And now it's become something where we're helping other people. Don't let whatever situation you're in determine what you can and can't do. What? Find a way.
Show me. So, I'm reliant on a cane. I have fibromyalgia and PCOS, among a few other things. I'm not able to have even a part-time job, like your typical part-time job, because I never know what my body's going to do on any given day. There are some days where I'm doing good just to be sitting up in the living room, let alone making bread. And on those days, I'm not doing anything. Then there's other days, like today, which was better, where I'm able to get some bread done. But, there's so many things that even people who have disabilities can do. Like, I have a stool right here in the kitchen, so if I need to sit down while I'm making my bread or while I'm cooking, I can. I crochet. I sew. There's a large amount of things that even people with disabilities can do. Don't just let, and I know it's really difficult to contemplate or to say, but don't let your disability dictate your life. It will to an extent. I cannot do half of the things that I once was able to do. I can't run and play with my 10-year-old son, even though I would love to. Even walking to the park is out for me because of how I can't walk for very long because it hurts. But I find other ways to spend time with my son. Anybody with disabilities knows that you have to find other ways to live your life and to figure out ways to make the best with what you're been given. This is what I do. Since I can no longer work, I take care of the house as much as I can. I bake. It's not a big amount of money that I'm bringing in. Like, so far I've made $15. No, 16. Sorry, I made $16. But it's still $16 that I didn't have before. So, you know, there are ways to prep without, you know, going and having 40 acres of land with cows and chickens and all the trimmings. You know, you can look on Nextdoor. There, I can almost guarantee that there are people in your city who, sorry, that's another thing I deal with is I will be talking and whatever I was about to say will just completely go out of my head.
As she was trying to talk and say, there's an app called Nextdoor, and we started selling bread on there. We've already got several people interested. We've only gotten one order through there, but you can get on there. It's similar to Facebook Marketplace, how it used to be. The difference is it's set by neighborhood. No, they are not endorsing us. These videos are not endorsed by them. We wanted to mention it just because it is really helpful.
And we like helping people.
We like helping those around us. We like helping those of you that are watching our videos. I know right now there's not many of you. We're hoping
or many videos.
Or many videos. I mean, this is the first one we've done in 5 months' time. Things have been rough for us. But, you know, check out Nextdoor. There's plenty of places or things on there that will show, you know, neighbors that are making stuff or have stuff for sale or even bartering. There's just so much on there that Marketplace doesn't have, Craigslist doesn't have, and to be honest, I don't trust Craigslist at all. But get the word out if you're making something from home and you want to help people with it. Even if you're not selling it and you just want to barter or you just want to give to the local community, whether it's bread, rather it's these little crocheted hot pads that my wife made. I mean, she's got a few of them that she's put together, and they've worked wonders. All we had to do was buy the yarn. She made them. You know, different things like that can help your community and people in your community. Another thing that I want to mention, we're going to try and do more of these videos. We're going to showcase our bread a little more as we make them. We'll probably show the different styles of bread that she's making, and other things that we're going to be doing as well. I'm learning how to do leatherworking. I will be eventually showcasing some of those products. No, they probably won't be for sale. It's just stuff that I'm teaching myself how to do. That way the skill is there. There's just other things that, whether you live in an apartment, you live in a mobile home, wherever, a little tiny home, whatever it may be, find ways to not only help yourself and to minimize the amount of money you're spending on food. Because to be honest with you, the amount we spent in bread, we have probably, what we would spend for the ingredients to make bread, we could make 3 times the amount. Just because of the way she does it, the recipe she uses. Everybody has access to the internet these days, whether it's via your phone or via your home computer or your laptop or whatever it may be. Get on there and find recipes. Try stuff out. Learn if you can do it. Not everybody can bake. Me personally, I can't bake. I'm great on a stove. I'm great on a grill. I can throw some food together, but I'm not good at baking. It's just not my thing. Lisa, on the other hand, is awesome. Let me show you some of the other stuff that she has made.
These are some oatmeal cranberry nut cookies that I made for him. So he's diabetic. He is type 2 diabetic, and I have PCOS. So we don't use sugar, like standard sugar, when it comes to cooking or baking or anything. I use stevia
or honey.
And honestly, the stevia which this is also not being endorsed by them, but it works great. It's the same. It tastes exactly the same. You can't even tell. But these, I also added peanut butter because the recipe that I was using, the dough was too dry. So I had a little bit of peanut butter. I didn't measure it out. I just scooped it in there. And oh my God, they're so moist. And I hate that word, but they're so good. And they're soft and chewy. And I don't like oatmeal cookies, but I love those.
And then this here is what's left of a garlic onion test.
Extra
garlic that we had actually done one loaf for a customer, and that was a leftover. And it has now become a flavor.
Yes.
It's one that we plan on doing, that she plans on having. There's just...
I made this basket, which I use for candy.
She makes little things like that we can have around the house to put stuff in. Just find ways to make your home more efficient, whatever it may be. If it's, doing stuff like this, where you're cutting down on your food bill by making your own foods. If you're cutting down on your extras bill by making stuff like this. I mean, this freaking thing is durable. We've had them for
2 years.
2 years now, and there's not been a tear. I mean, this one's a little burnt. I think that's actually kind of my fault.
I think that's the oldest one. That and the other. The 2 yellow ones are the oldest ones.
So the 2 yellow ones are the oldest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff like this that she made that is just simple wall hanging, but it's something that she wanted. It's something she put together, and it makes the white walls not look so white. Just simple things like that. She's gotten to the point where, and we did this today, and I'm going to come in behind her. We got a deal on 48 pounds
of flour.
Of all-purpose flour. That's 48 pounds, almost 50 pounds for $8.
Through Nextdoor.
Through the Nextdoor app.
So
that's
flour that we don't have to go and buy.
Exactly. I don't have to go to a store and spend $4 for a 5-pound bag, whereas this 48 pounds cost us $8.
Also with flour, speaking of the baking aspect, you can make your own bread flour. You don't have to go buy it. You just need, so for every cup of all-purpose flour that you use, you need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use sea salt, but you can use whatever. And a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That's it. And then you have all-purpose bread flour. And I made some up and put it in my bread canister, or my flour canister.
This canister right here is full, pretty much. I don't know if she...
I have used some of it.
She used some of it. But look at that. And she made all that today from the flour that we bought. One bag, did that, and filled up her all-purpose. Now, we don't have to spend the extra money. Just look for deals like that. Even if it's on Marketplace, wherever it may be, look for deals that can help you be more self-sufficient. Somebody may have stuff that you can use and they don't have a clue what it's for.
Yep.
Use it. Go get it. If you spend, $5-10, okay, that's only $5 or $10.
I'm going to show something else real quick. Also, another thing. Sorry, I did baking today and I don't have the spoons at the moment to clean it up. I also made this lovely pocket. So, repurposing spaghetti jars. This is all my chives. This is my garlic powder that I use. Do I have another one in here? I probably do. So I have those. Here's my dried mangoes that I'm almost out of. I gotta fix those, make those. These are dried mangoes that I made months ago in my dehydrator. And they're hard, but if you suck on them, don't laugh. They're really good. And they're still good. They haven't gone bad. But repurposing spaghetti sauce jars, pickle jars, other glass jars. I have an entire area up here full of them. as well as a shelf down here, which you can't see because it's too dark.
You can actually see
Oh.
some of them in there, guys.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to see, but there's a bunch of jars in there. I mean, we have stuff up here. You can see our food dehydrator right there. We haven't used it in a little while, but it does get used. You know, we have different little appliances and different things that we can use to make it to where our food lasts longer.
And they are good investments, and that's the thing you want to look for, is not just buying something for, you know, oh, I'm going to use it once and toss it away. They're good investments.
This right here, and I'll let her finish. Go ahead.
I am so glad that we invested in that food dehydrator, because I love dried mangoes. But the thing is, at the store, there you pay a whole bunch for a little bitty amount, and I don't like doing that.
She's right on that. Now, one of the best investments that we have ever done, cast iron.
Yes.
We got an entire set, cast iron skillets, and I'm gonna bring them over here into the light. I mean, they're solid. We keep them seasoned. You know, if something happens, I can use a normal campfire or a fire to cook with these. I don't need that. I don't need the oven. I got this right here and a little bit of fire. I can cook food for my family. You can get these anywhere and decent quality. I got these ones off of Fingerhut only because I was able to make a payment on them and pay them off. They're paid off. They're done for. Little baker's racks like this one here. They're great.
There's my double over there.
You know, there's all kinds of different little things that you can get that will help in a situation like what we have. We live in a tiny apartment. Our place isn't very big. As you can see, we're kind of cluttered up.
Kinda?
You know, our table is not even, we don't use it as a table because there's just not enough room. You know, we have our deep freeze. That's another good investment. While you have electricity, get a deep freeze. You fill it full of food. Now you don't have to worry about food. Now, granted, if the grid goes down, something goes wrong, there's a blackout, you're kind of SOL. But in the same instance, the damn thing is insulated. It will last a little bit. You know, eventually your food's going to thaw out. Use it up. Give it away. Feed your neighbors. Help people. Help each other. That's what it's all about. Is to help each other. Alright, guys. I think that's it I'm going to do on this video. Have a little bit more that we'll probably talk about at a later time, and I'll do another video at a later time. You guys have a good night.
Have a good